When you think of home security and personal theft, this is usually the type of image that comes to mind. A criminal breaking into your home and helping themselves to your most cherished personal possessions, only to disappear back into the night. While this is a very real scenario, we're going to be looking at a different type of personal theft. One that looks like this. Can you tell who the victim is? Did you see the crime occur? Look a little bit closer. There. This woman has had her identity stolen, and like most victims, she doesn't even know it yet. This brand of theft occurs behind your back and without notice. Now, it's time to fight back. Identity theft, scams, and Medicare fraud are very real threats to your home security. And your best defense is education. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the various types of scams that exist and what you can do to protect yourself. Our first stop is your front door. We'll take a look at some examples of who may be waiting on the other side when your doorbell rings unexpectedly.
Hey, how's it going? We were just working on your neighbor's driveway. We noticed that yours needs some work. We do have some material left over. If you want to do it today, we could cut you a sweet deal.
This scam is simple. Use extra materials and lucky timing to get you to commit to a bad deal.
Listen, I'm trying to help you out here. So why don't you do me a favor? I just really don't want to get stiffed in this deal. Take half the payment now. You can give us the other half when we're done with the work.
The scam is that while your cash deposit is taken, no work is ever done. But let's see how a shady contractor can also scam you without asking for any money up front.
Listen, we're not trying to scam you. We're not asking for any money up front. Your driveway doesn't look too big anyways. We got the material right here. Doesn't look like it's going to cost you that much. If you want to get it done today, all you have to do is sign the contract.
In this version, shoddy work is done with inferior materials, but still leads to a very expensive and overpriced bill. So what's the right response? Never sign a contract without a written agreement on price, time frame, and terms of the work to be done. It's usually best to avoid the door-to-door contractor.
Hey, I'm Rick from the phone company. We have a down line. We're going house to house just to make sure everybody's safe. I do need to come in and check your lines. I'll be out of here in no time.
The scam here is to gain easy access to your home and belongings for potential theft. You may not even notice anything is missing until it's far too late. So what is the right response? First, look for a service vehicle. Second, ask to see their work identification. And finally, ask the person to wait outside and call the utility company to confirm their identity. This is the best way to ensure you know who you're letting in.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Paul, and I'm with Medicare. I was just talking to Mrs. Smith down the road, going over some of her coverage, and she mentioned that you may need a little bit of help with your coverage plan.
In this scam, insurance salespeople pose as Medicare employees to sell insurance to seniors. But be very cautious. It is against Medicare rules for someone to show up at your front door uninvited, so he either doesn't know the rules or chooses to ignore them.
I do have the official Medicare material here, and I would be happy to go over anything that you would want to know about.
Be careful. The materials may be Medicare official, but the salesperson is not, and he will only tell you what he wants you to hear.
Listen, I do have a lot of appointments this week. I really don't think I'm going to be able to stop back by. If you want to sign on today, I can get you the information by next week.
Signing any forms may actually end up enrolling you in a plan. The right response here is clear. Don't sign anything without properly researching a plan. For an unbiased look at your coverage, call Action for Older Persons at 722-1251. It's your home. Don't ever feel pressured into letting someone in if you're not comfortable with the idea. And if you feel that your personal security is at risk, or if the person refuses to leave, call the police. But usually, The best solution is also the simplest. Just say, "No thank you," and close the door. Internet scams provide a difficult challenge simply because there are so many of them. So we'll focus on one of the biggest, and that is email phishing. Now, email phishing occurs when a hacker uses email to pose as a legitimate business in order to dupe victims out of account numbers and other sensitive information. There are dozens of phishing scams out there on the web, so let's take a look at some of the common themes and key phrases that you need to look out for. These email scams are so effective because they look and feel like the real thing. Hackers use a number of tactics to trick their victims. The first is called email masking. This allows a hacker to hide their true identity in an email. Instead, they will use the name of the business that they are attempting to imitate. This makes it nearly impossible to tell the real source of the email. In addition, the design of these fake emails is hard to distinguish from the real thing. Scammers will incorporate all of the correct logos and graphics and even recreate the same design and layout that you would find in a real email. They will use the type of wording that you would expect from a business so they don't raise any red flags. Essentially, a talented scammer is able to bring together all of the elements needed to create the perfect email clone. Well, now the question becomes, what is the right response? Well, first, do not give out any of your account numbers or sensitive information. You never know where it may end up. Second, do not click any links in the email. It may send you to a fake form to enter your information or initiate the download of a virus to your computer. Either way, it's not worth the risk. Finally, report the email. Many banks, retailers, and credit companies offer some way to report fake emails. With this information, they are better able to pursue the source of the email. If you're concerned an email may be legitimate and you don't want to ignore it, there is a correct course of action. The trick is to use your own records. Don't call any numbers or click any links you see in the email. Instead, pull a phone number off of an old bill or the back of your credit card and call the company directly. This is the only way to ensure that you know exactly who you're talking to.